Shalom, call halal Yahweh Shemil, Shabbat Hashem Kakwada, should have honors to the apostles and other bishops of Great Millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us His truth. Shalom and salutations, all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and its sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. From the brother slash elder, Yashawan, Shalom and salutations to you all. And today is War and Rumors of War Tuesday. This is the World War III Daily Update. And today we read Matthew 24 and 6 in the King James, and it reads, "Ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars," that famous phrase. "See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but it is not yet." Then what we do is we go in and we find the differences in these different versions. NIV, same rumors, wars and rumors of wars. In NLT, wars and threats. So we got rumors of wars and threats of wars. Go down here to the new good news. We got news. So we got threats, rumors, news, news. Right? And reports. Reports of wars. All culminating into what? All culminating. News, reports, fame. Right? Rumors, fame, threat. You're going to hear of World War III. All you're going to hear is about World War III. Okay? Even if it, ooh, shit. Okay. You shut the door. I thought somebody had an accident. So, you will hear, okay, so, yeah, fame, famous, reports, news, all the time. Okay. 13 hours ago, open-minded reporter, that's new. Used to be open-minded thinker. Spain explodes. Israeli consulate set ablaze in Spain after IDF drops 153-ton bomb on Gaza. So the war is still going on. This is the main war in World War III. The one that is going on in Israel. That's the main one. Because that's where everything is going to culminate, in the valley of Yahushua. So you can't count that out as being World War III. That ain't World War. Yes, it is. Because that's where everybody's going. Let's prove that right now and get it out of the way. Where's everybody going? Well, let's see. According to the scriptures, though. Not what I think is going to happen. Let's go straight to the NLT. Joel 3 and 2. In the NLT. "I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of it." Where's the valley of Yahushua? "There I will judge them for harming my people, my special possession, for scattering my people among the nations, and for dividing up my land." Where's his land? In Israel. The valley of Yahushua is in Israel. His land is where? In Israel. Where's the crux of World War III? What does I in IDF mean? Israel, stupid. Israel heavily bombards Khan Yunis of Gaza in violation of Gaza's ceasefire. What heavily bombed? This 150-ton bomb on Gaza. Who did it? Israel. Okay. Where is everybody going? Where's the Most High gathering the armies of the world? In Israel. Is Israel part of World War III? It's ground zero. Israel is ground zero. America is ground zero. Babylon.
That was what the 153-pound bombs looked like in Gaza, despite a ceasefire.
Started against Lucky.
That was what the 153-pound bombs looked like in Gaza, despite a ceasefire.
Ceasefire. Rumor of war. Fame. Everybody knows about the ceasefire. Everybody knows it was
Continued violations by Israel have led to the deaths of over 100 Palestinians. These include people killed as a result of their lack of awareness of the boundaries demarcating the so-called yellow line, only visible on military maps. Others were killed directly by Israeli fire in what it claimed was a Gaza violation, which eventually turned out to be a deliberate explosion by the IDF itself so that it could attack Gaza. There were a total of 25 airstrikes in just 6 hours, making it an intense aerial combat, aimed principally, from my perspective, at strike areas protected by Gaza defenders, which they had observed following the lull in the ceasefire. That was a classic one. Wanted criminal Benjamin Netanyahu sacrificed the 2 soldiers that died in order to carry out his malicious strikes to destroy the Gaza tunnel where Israeli prisoners of war were detained. And to achieve this, the IDF utilized a 153-pound bomb, and that's the major kernel of my report today.
The major kernel, was it rumor? Was it threat? Was it a report? Was it news?
1.5 miles. It's not very long.
Was it all of the above? Is it fame?
Longer than the national.
Slocky.
שני לוחמים נפלו בזמן הפסקת האש. שי יבץ, זיכרונו לברכה, ורב סרן יניב.
No need for this. All right, I don't want to hear this anymore. So whatever. Oh, I didn't start it over.
153 טון.
After this announcement by the fugitive criminals, Spain erupted in massive, righteous protests condemning the Zionist regime's brutal and genocidal onslaught in Gaza, peaking with a nationwide general strike on October 15th.
Now, what that represents, this consulate, it represents the land of Israel in Spain. So this is them destroying the land of Israel. That's their property there. Okay.
Spearheaded by courageous labor unions and student activists who refuse to tolerate Israel's ongoing atrocities amid a sham ceasefire that does nothing to halt the slaughter. Tens of thousands of outraged citizens flooded the streets of Madrid, Barcelona, and Valencia, echoing thunderous chants like "Stop everything to stop the genocide," while demanding that the Spanish government immediately cut all economic and diplomatic ties with the apartheid state, enforce crippling sanctions, and open vital humanitarian aid routes to aid the besieged Palestinians. In Madrid, around 15,000 defiant youth marched from Atocha to Puerta del Sol, and Barcelona swelled with up to 300,000 protesters by organizers' counts, grinding transportation, schools, and public services to a halt in a bold act of solidarity that exposes the world's complicity in Israel's 2-year reign of terror and its catastrophic toll on innocent lives. Backed by over 200 unions, this strike rejects the fragile truce as a mere facade, fiercely calling for true accountability and a genuine just peace that dismantles the oppressive roots of Zionist aggression. Boycotts were added to the mix. Like and share this video to help spread the truth. Mainstream media is silent on the anti-Israel strikes and the massive protests happening in Spain. Subscribe to help amplify our for more.
Today, we take a crucial step forward in calling for a 2-state solution at this conference. But let us be lucidly clear, there is no solution possible when the population of one of those 2 states is the victim of a genocide. We are all well aware that the only hope that civilians in Gaza have is that of knowing that the world does not forget them, and this conference nurtures that hope. It is an act of moral rebellion, an uprising against indifference and forgetfulness. Let us make this conference too a collective commitment to halting brutality and to paving the way for peace. Excellencies, this conference marks a monumental step forward, but it is not the end of the road. It only is and can only be the beginning. As such, I want to make two proposals. First, the State of Palestine must be a fully fledged member of the United Nations. As soon as possible, we must conclude the procedure to admit the State of Palestine to this organization on an equal footing with the rest of states herein. Secondly, we have
that's peace and
be
safety.
possible. Spain.
Okay, let's get beyond peace and safety.
A plan with measures to halt the genocide in Gaza. We will continue to take.
This is Staverton, Welling, Girvan, I mentioned Bromber on the Wirral as well.
We're just looking for wars
As
and
if
rumors.
that weren't enough, earlier this month, the Pedro Sanchez government passed a law through the Spanish parliament imposing an arms embargo on Israel. Spain has also been a leading voice in preventing the wanted criminal Netanyahu from travelling freely across Europe on his way to the United States.
So for the end goal, the actual establishment of a Palestinian state living side by side with a secure Israel, to get that, you're going to have to keep up the pressure on the Israeli government. Justin Trudeau said that Canada would honour the International Criminal Court arrest warrants, i.e. Benjamin Netanyahu would be arrested if he came to Canada. Does that stand under your leadership?
Yes.
You'd be prepared to do that?
Yes.
Meanwhile, Candace Owens has issued a warning to those who continue to support Zionism.
Now, to be clear, I am consistent on all matters. I do not want America involved whatsoever in anything that is happening in Israel. I don't want my dollars sent over to Israel. We should not be supporting Israel. Obviously, Thomas Massey has done a lot of work showing how it doesn't even make economic sense that we...
She's about to be the poster child for anti-Semitism. She already is in Australia. So
much debt, and yet we're sending money over to support Israel. And the biggest issue, by the way,
they will be attaching her face to Negroes.
That I have with Israel and talking about them being above reproach is the fact that they are supplying the arms to murder Christians, okay? In Armenia, the oldest Christian country in the world, and yet nobody talks about that. For whatever reason, it seems to be the circumstance that when...
They're Jakes. The Christians in Nigeria are Jakes. The people being killed all over the world for being Christian are Jakes.
Jewish people die in Israel, it's wall-to-wall coverage. But when Christians die all over the world, nobody talks about it. Everyone wants to correlate everything to World War II. Everyone wants to talk about Adolf Hitler. And
they performed a diligent search. They know who Jakes are. They know who's not. So when they're in these different countries killing specific people, they know who the Jakes are.
And rightfully so, he was a horrific person. But nobody wants to talk about Henryk Yagoda. Right? Nobody wants to talk about the Bolsheviks. Nobody wants to talk about the Christian Holocaust. I am tired of the media, exhausted of the media not speaking about what is happening to Christians all around the world. And it is especially horrific while at the exact same time that it is happening, the slaughter of Christians in Armenia, the arms being supplied by Israel, that the media turns the other way and says, oh, okay, but what about Israel? What about what's happening in Israel? So you know what I'm asking for? Actual equality. Okay? Because it seems like this is like a special category, the special relationship that we have. I'm a Christian first, okay? And so my concerns are going to be with what's happening to Christians all around the world, because it is us. We are the #1 most persecuted religion in the world.
The fury has only intensified post-strike, boiling over into fierce clashes that underscore an unbreakable resolve against Israeli imperialism as of October 19th in Barcelona. Explosive confrontations ignited outside the Israeli consulate, where valiant masked demonstrators struck at complicit businesses backing the occupiers, smashing stores, banks, and offices in a raw outcry against the regime's support network, resulting in arrests and police repression with tear gas. Comparable chaos erupted at a Euro Cup basketball match featuring an Israeli team as protesters pushed for boycotts and lambasted the barbaric savagery in Gaza, ignoring union critiques and defying backlash for persisting through so-called peace overtures that mask continued oppression. Throughout Spain, this surging movement commands global scrutiny, with unbreakable vows from activists that the fight endures until the Zionist entity is held accountable, fueling urgent worldwide demands to combat what they rightly label as ethnic cleansing, deliberate starvation, and unyielding war crimes, even as token aid trickles into the ravaged Strip. Thank you so much for getting to this side of things. Remember to never forget to support my work.
All right. So, what am I going to get? This. Good News Translation, 2 Ezra 9. All start at 1. He answered, consider all these things very carefully. When you see some of the signs that I've told you about have appeared, you will know that the time has come when God Most High will bring judgment on the world he has created. There will be earthquakes, national rebellions, international intrigues, unstable leaders, and confused rulers. When you see these things happening, you will know that they are what God Most High has spoken about since the beginning of creation. Okay? So, I think this qualifies as national rebellion. Anyway, with that, we hope that the elect ratified you, brothers and sisters. Shalom.